Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Moto Mengy channel. Today, I'm going to test ride the Harley Davidson Pan America. But not just a Pan America. This demo fleet from Wisconsin, they have 4 bikes each ride all at one time. They have a Pan America, a KTM adventure bike, the Honda Africa Twin, and the BMW GSR. So I'm not just riding the Pan America today, I'm riding 4 different adventure bikes from different brands. I'm going to compare them all. I can't wait. My brother and I rode out to Appalachian Harley Davidson in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania to test ride the new Pan America adventure bike. But the demo ride turned out far better than we anticipated. We got the chance to ride the Honda Africa Twin, the BMW GSR 1200, the new HD Pan America, and the KTM 1290R. The Pan America is a great looking rugged ADV. It was very much the star of this show. Everyone couldn't wait to get their chance to ride it. I was particularly curious to see how Harley's new fully water-cooled Revolution Max motor rode and performed. The demo was a 40-minute ride where we'd switch off between 3 of the 4 ADV bikes, allowing each of us to make direct comparisons between the brands and everyone getting their chance to ride the new Pan America. And now, it's time to ride. All right, everyone, I'm riding the KTM first. First impression, the KTM is tall. Very tall. Oh, wow. The shift is funky. All right, so my first time riding a KTM, anything. First impression, the KTM feels nice. I don't like how tall it is though, that bothers me. But I'll be fine.
Well, you see your tippy toes.
I am tippy toe on this thing.
This ain't that bad. This is nice.
The clutch is funny. The clutch has got a lot of play in it. It doesn't engage to the very end. Okay, turn signals are here. All right, I found turn signals there. Although it does ride nice, it feels good. It's so tall.
It looks tall. It looks tall, dude. That's the main reason I never want to get adventure bikes, is that right there.
Although, you put 1 foot down one side, you're all right.
Yeah, but if you're at a bad spot, it might be hard to do.
It would be, yeah.
Especially if you're off-roading.
It rides nice, though. Well, off-roading, you don't stop. That's the whole,
Well,
you know.
hope not.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
This is pretty flat. This ain't bad.
Yeah, the Africa Twin sits at a good height.
Soft. Real soft.
Yeah, it looks soft.
It is.
This is a little more firm.
I mean, I'm sure it can be adjusted. But...
Tell you what, though, this is power, I think.
Oh, this has a snap.
Holy crap! All right, the KTM is a rocket ship. I was not ready for that. Wow. Oh my Lord. Oh, this bike has so much power. It's not even silly. Wow. The KTM was fast, like scary fast. I really don't think I've ever ridden a bike with this much power before. It literally made me giggle more than once with how powerful it was. You can really feel all of that 180 horsepower. It was also tall, very tall. I'm 5'8", and I could not flat-foot the KTM. Tiptoes only at stops. The KTM handled well on the road though. feeling very sporty in the turns, but it also rode a tad harsher than I expected. It seemed to me like the suspension was tuned more for performance than comfort. I'm not saying it wasn't a comfortable ride, but less so than I expected. The sitting position was also very sporty, with my feet far behind my knees and my body leaning forward a bit, some of my weight resting on my wrists. This made shifting a bit difficult. It almost felt like a rocket bike in foot placement to me. It was an okay sitting position, but I don't think I'd like to ride it for long distance rides. Standing up while riding was very comfortable though. That felt very natural. The switchgear was okay, but felt a tad tractor-like to me. It's probably very sturdy. The display was also okay, but the UI seemed a bit cluttered and not very intuitive. The clutch engaged very late, with lots of travel before engaging. This felt unusual to me, and I would have preferred it grabbed a little sooner. The windshield was small and did not do much to block the wind. Better than nothing, I suppose, but I felt lots of wind hitting me on the ride. I must say I love the color scheme on the KTM though. The white and orange is sharp. And in general, it's a very good looking bike. Altogether, the KTM was a super fun bike to ride, but it felt more sport bike than adventure bike to me. So much damn fun though. And so damn fast. Oh yeah!
Solid. This is a nice bike.
This is fun! It's got so much power! KTMs are popular now. Dear Lord, that power is just insane. Son of a bitch. Let's watch this. Sorry, excuse me. That's intoxicating. My first time riding a KTM ever. I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't expect this. Now we're going to switch here. That's what we're doing. Oh, tiptoes. Get in neutral.
Nice.
That's second. There's neutral.
That's a spirited little bike.
This or yours?
This is good.
This thing is fast. Holy hell!
This one I wouldn't say is fast, but it's good pull.
I had no idea this bike was a rocket like that.
I'll bet. Did you see those guys looking at you when you went past? Oh, yeah. The guy was breaking his neck looking at that. He's like, whoa.
A few moments later.
Oh, honestly, not much.
All right, let's get on the Pan America. Oh yeah, much lower. Yeah. Yeah, push that back and then tap the top one. You said.
Just lowered for you.
Yeah. Wow, you can feel that. Oh, I like the sound of it. Wow.
That's main mode.
All right, and then hit it once to go into standard mode then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Welcome to the Harley Davidson Pan America. Already this sits lower than the KTM does by quite a large margin. Oh, shifter is not like a standard Harley shifter. Wow. Starting in rain mode. All right, it's very, very sluggish in rain mode. Let's get out of this already. There we go, road mode. Much better. Wow, okay. Pan America's got some balls too. Yeah, well, let's put it in sport mode, just see what it does. Let's just find out. Oh, this Pan America's nice. This bike ride's wonderful. I'll leave it in sport mode actually, I think. It's manageable. Like, on the Goldwing, sport mode's a little twitchy. You have to be careful with it. it's very refined, very smooth. You don't got to worry about jerkiness or anything. It handles good. The switchgear in the Pan America is not typical Harley stuff. Buttons are smaller and more Honda-like, honestly. Plus, there are new buttons and controls which no other Harley has. It was great, but with fat winter gloves, I'd have a hard time pressing buttons. The same issue I have on my Goldwing, to be blunt. I honestly prefer standard big Harley Davidson buttons, but this is a nitpicky point, really. Still, the switchgear was better than the KTM's was, in my opinion. Display was very nice, though. Clear and mostly easy to read, plus the UI was very well designed and modern. The screen tilts back and forth in case of sun glare. That was nice. Very well thought out, too. The only issue was some of the text along the outside of the edges of the screen was small and hard to read at a glance while riding. Like the fonts could have been bolder or something to make it easier. The Revolution Max motor feels fantastic. Pulls smooth with lots of power, very free revving, and not as much power as a KTM had, but it felt somewhat comparable to my Goldwing, surprisingly. I would love to see this motor in a Road Glide or a Sportsters. It doesn't have that Harley feeling to it, though. No V-twin vibration or sound. This is a modern motor with a very different feeling to it than your standard air-cooled Harley motors. The windshield is great, much more effective than the KTM's. And it easily raised and lowered with one hand, with a lever off to the left side of the windshield. You can even change it while riding pretty easily. Great job there, Harley. And the seat was outstanding, supremely comfortable. I think it's a better seat than my Goldwing has, really. Plush yet supportive. I'd love to take a Pan America on an all-day ride because I think that seat would be ideal for an iron butt. Seating position was also good, but similar to the KTM somewhat, a bit forward-leaning, with my feet back further than I'd like. I think a mild set of bar risers would probably fix the Pan America's seating position pretty much perfectly for me. Standing up while riding was fine, but a bit forward. Again, I think some mild bar risers would probably fix that for me, though. Cruised wonderful on the straights, yet felt right at home in the curves, too. Very nimble and sport feeling. Didn't feel heavy at all, and at 550 pounds, I guess it's not. The Pan America just felt right in all kinds of riding, to be honest. No Harley clunk when shifting either. Nice positive feeling gearbox. But the shifter was close to a frame member, and I had a hard time finding the lever a few times with my foot. The KTM seemed a little bit easier to shift for me. Suspension felt great too, much smoother than the KTM, much better ride. I absolutely love the adaptive suspension. At stops I could easily flat foot the Pan America, but once the bike started rolling, it lifted right up and sat every bit as tall as the KTM did. The lowering is so smooth you don't even realize it's happening. Extremely awesome feature, and if I bought a Pan America, it would 100% have this feature on it. Cruises at highway speed very easily and comfortable. This bike could eat up highway miles with the best touring bikes Harley makes, in my opinion. Sport mode was fun, yet very usable. Very easy to modulate throttle control, not twitchy at all like my Goldwing is in sport mode. If I owned a Pan America, I'd probably leave it in sport mode most of the time. That's how nice it rode. I'm in third. I think I'm second. There we go. Okay.
Kickstand right here.
Oh, it's...
Up, there you go.
Oh wow, look at that. So what did I hit back there? What was that? Oh, it's got a center stand. Okay, all right. Well, that's a nice bike. It's not as fast as KTM, but it's more comfortable than the KTM.
Dude, this bike's like a crotch rocket.
Yeah, it is. Yes, yes.
So that's what it is. It's their race bike motor and an adventure frame.
Yeah, you can tell when you ride
I'm
it.
scared of that bike.
They actually don't produce this bike anymore.
Don't they really?
This is a 2020 and they stopped producing it.
Because it was too fast or what?
When we first started riding, I went around the first little switchback up a hill. Whoa, that back end was ready to come right out from behind me. No, was it? Not scary, but I felt it. It was walking its way around.
It's fun.
The traction.
I felt that one
Fun.
come loose once.
Did you really?
Just a tiny bit.
This bike is awesome. This bike handles great.
When this corners, the back end wants to come out. Different feel. It's really different feel. Matt, what do you think?
I've never been
This
on
thing's
that.
power is like a
Yeah,
crotch rocket.
yeah. That's a sport bike.
Off-road. How would you possibly take that off-road?
It's got a dirt mode to lower the power, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
down to 1/3.
It needs it. Oh yeah, it needs it. I mean, it's too powerful.
I don't know who's coming here. That thing's crazy powerful.
Yeah.
A few moments later.
All right.
I got lowers. Oh man, I like that. Lowers down.
Next I'm on the Africa Twin.
I already love this guy. Love it.
Oh. All right. What mode are we in? Oh wow, the seat's harder on this than both the KTM and the Pan America. Now let's stand up and see how it feels. Oh wow, standing up. The Africa Twin feels the best out of all three that I've ridden. Oh, I have to say, the Honda feels better to me. I definitely like the way the Honda shifts. The Honda shifts better than either the KTM or the Pan America. The Honda shifts are precise and easy, and the foot placing is perfect. Okay, the Africa Twin does not have the power of the KTM or the Pan America. So it's a more refined motor. Louder too, I think. Wow. If you want that feeling, that Harley feeling, this Africa Twin might be the better choice. Which is funny to say comparing it to a Harley Davidson adventure bike. Oh man, the Africa Twin is fun and twisty. It's just because of the sound of it and the feel of it. It's not the fastest, but it's most emotion stirring, I would say. The Honda Africa Twin was so much fun to ride. Display was 80s Texas Instruments looking. Very hard to read at a glance. Jumbled and just not pretty to look at. Also hard to see what was on it. I really couldn't figure out the display while riding. I couldn't tell what ride mode I was in. The display was just terrible all around in my opinion. Really a shame. Switchgear was old-fashioned looking too, and fairly basic. It worked well, but felt and looked outdated. The seat was okay, but possibly the least comfortable of the three bikes I rode today. Ride height was tall, but nowhere near as bad as the KTM. Right in between the Pan America and the KTM. So I could almost flat-foot the Africa Twin, but not quite. The sitting position was perfect though. Very much like my Goldwing actually. The most upright and relaxed of the three bikes, with the best foot placement. Just a tad behind the knees, extremely comfortable. Shifting the Africa Twin was wonderful. Smooth shifts, easy to feel, perfect foot placement, easily the best shifting bike of the three. It also handled very nimbly. It felt the lightest of the three bikes. Maybe not as sporty as a KTM, but confident in the turns. In some ways, it felt the most dirt bike-like, if that makes sense. The Africa Twin was easily the least powerful moto of the three bikes. Adequate power, but nowhere near as fun or adrenaline-inducing as the KTM or Pan America. But the sound and exhaust note was the most pleasing to me. The bike's parallel twin motor felt the most emotional to ride. Like sound-wise, when you revved it up, it just gave you that good feeling that an air-cooled Harley Davidson gives you. Not as fast or sporty as the other two bikes, but the most satisfying to wind out and run up simply due to the sound it made. Windshield was okay, better than the KTM, but worse than the Pan America at providing wind protection. Oh, I like the sound of this bike.
Nice.
The Africa Twin is more of a large dirt bike feel to it, I'd say. And that's a good thing in my opinion.
I love it.
You're getting one, aren't you?
I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's nice.
Very comfortable.
It is.
Best windshield in the group.
Oh, this bike sounds great. Here we are, back at Appalachian.
Best wind protection.
Yeah, it does. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
I get no flutter, no wind.
No. No. Oh man, this is a blast. Thank you, Appalachian Harley Davidson. And thank you, Harley Davidson in general, for this awesome demo fleet. What a great idea to have all 4 adventure bikes to compare side to side. Just well done, Harley Davidson. Kudos. Well f***ing done. I love the sound of this Africa Twin. Oh. Oh man, I'm confused. I'm so confused. All right, so after riding the Pan America, the KTM 1290, and the Honda Africa Twin, the large one, choosing a clear winner between the 3 is difficult. They all have strengths and weaknesses, pluses and minuses. I'm gonna need some more time to mull it over as which one I prefer, but the takeaway of today's demo ride is that the Pan America is a wonderful bike. Harley did a fantastic job designing that bike. It feels like it's a compromise between all other adventure bikes. It's not the best at any one thing, but it's the best compromise out of all of them. That's my initial impression. That's kind of nice. It's tough to pick one though. I had to think about it. The differences between the KTM 1290R, the Pan America Special, and the Honda Africa Twin are very distinct. And I really needed some time to mull over the differences in the experience, to think through what I felt riding each bike. There doesn't seem to be a clear and obvious winner to me, to be honest. The KTM was far and away the fastest and the most sporty of the 3 bikes. It was so powerful, it made me smile and giggle every time I got on the gas. But it sat a little too far forward for my liking, too sport-like, and it was way too tall. I couldn't flat foot that bike. I was on my tippy toes at every stop, both tippy toes. Just ridiculously tall. The KTM felt more sport bike than adventure bike to me. A great bike, it was very much fun to ride, it was awesome. The Honda was the most fun for me to ride, but not the best overall bike of the 3. It was the slowest of the 3, yet it was the most emotional to ride. It felt the most connected from a riding experience point of view, I guess. The most old-fashioned of the 3, I guess you could say. The very pleasing engine and exhaust note sound was a large part of that, really. The Africa Twin just sounded awesome on the road. Plus, I had the most comfortable rider's triangle and seating position. I was the most upright on the Africa Twin. My feet were right under my knees. It was the most like how my Goldwing sits. And I could see riding for hundreds of miles very comfortably on that bike. Though it had the worst seat of the 3, and the controls and the display were, well, the controls were old looking and old fashioned. Serviceable, but not great. But the display was just terrible on the Africa Twin. I couldn't really understand it. It was hard to read at a glance. It was confusing and jumbled looking. Which brings me to the Pan America. The Harley Pan America was clearly the best overall bike of the three. When you take everything into account, the overall package, all the features and all the quirks and stuff, while both the KTM and Honda had some good things and bad things about them, the Pan America had good things and okay things about it. It just didn't have any big cons to it. It did everything okay and did some things very well. That's not just my opinion. Everyone on the tour who rode the Pan America and compared it to the other bikes said the same thing. The Pan America had the most comfortable seat by far, the best wind protection, the best display, the nicest controls. The adaptive ride height was an awesome feature. I mean, well worth every penny you pay for it. It was very powerful while still feeling light and nimble, had a good exhaust note. The engine felt great, lots of power all the way up the rev range. It really felt like when Harley designed the Pan America, they took the pros and cons of all the other competitors' bikes, made a list, and made sure the Pan America hit all the pros and none of the cons as best as possible. Like it was a design ethos or something. And if that was their goal, I'd say they hit the nail on the head. If I had to rank the three bikes that I rode, the KTM would be number 3, the last place. The Honda Africa Twin would be number 2, but a close number 2 to the number 1, and the number 1 would be clearly the Harley Davidson Pan America. It was just the best overall of the 3 I rode. And other people got to ride the BMW. I didn't get to ride the BMW, but they also agreed that the BMW had pros and cons, while the Harley had pros and not many cons. The Harley was a better bike than the BMW. For me personally, it was close between the Africa Twin and the Pan America. The Pan America is clearly a better bike and the best bike of the bunch, but the Africa Twin was just fun. In like an old school, older Harley kind of way, I guess. I'm not sure how to explain it really, just emotionally it was the most fun of the 3, but the Pan America was clearly the best bike of the 3. So those are my thoughts and takeaways from my Pan America demo experience. I'd like to thank Appalachian Harley Davidson of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania for putting this event together. It was awesome. Big kudos to Appalachian Harley Davidson. Getting the chance to ride and directly compare the Pan America with its best competitors was really a great idea. And it shows you how much confidence Harley has in the Pan America. And after riding it, I can see why. They got not much to worry about. In fact, I think Harley's biggest problem is going to be making enough of these bikes. I think they'll sell every one they make for quite a few number of years. That's how good it was. Actually, I think a lot of Harley touring riders are going to switch to the Pan America. It's lighter, it's more powerful, it's faster, it's almost a better touring bike than a Harley touring bike. Yeah, my brother is seriously thinking about trading in his Street Glide for a Pan America and just riding that full time. Can't say I blame him. It's hard not to think that after riding that Pan America. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below in the comment section of the video. If you get the chance to take a Harley Pan America for a test ride, I highly suggest you do. It's really quite a bike. So thanks for watching, take care, see you next time.